shooter shot in a cowardly, dastardly act targeting the best of America. Heroes willing to serve in Washington, D.C., serve for people they don't know and they've never met.
Yeah, we're following this breaking news now at 10. Two West Virginia National Guardsmen are fighting for their lives in a Washington hospital. They were shot this afternoon.
And in response to that shooting, President Trump has ordered 500 more troops to the nation's capital. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. We just learned less than 2 hours ago the suspect is 29-year-old Ramanullah Lankanwal from Washington State. He appears to have immigrated to the U.S. from Afghanistan in 2021.
All right, now the shooting happened in broad daylight just blocks away from the White House. Maribel Gonzalez has the latest details on the investigation.
A chaotic scene in our nation's capital Wednesday afternoon. Video shows police giving CPR to a downed National Guardsman next to a shattered bus stop shelter. A second troop seen on the ground surrounded by police.
I heard the shots and I just hid behind the chairs over there.
The two guardsmen shot and critically wounded in an apparent targeted attack while they were performing high visibility patrols near the White House. Officials say the guardsmen engaged in gunfire with the suspect prior to being shot.
At this point, we have no other suspects. We have reviewed video from the area. It appears, like I said, to be a lone gunman that raised the firearm and ambushed these members of the National Guard.
Multiple law enforcement sources say the shooter's ID matches a man from Washington State who appears to have immigrated here from Afghanistan in 2021. But note they are still working on additional confirmation.
I think the biggest question right now is to understand a more kind of rich picture, understanding who this person is and what their potential connections might be.
Following the shooting, President Donald Trump filed an emergency order to keep the National Guard in D.C. and send 500 more troops. This after a federal judge last week ruled the deployment was illegal. Maribel Gonzalez, Fox 61.